Everybody, hope you are well. I'm going to introduce you. I did a quick coaching conversation with a guy called Nick, and I just wanted to kind of just show you how that went. Now, it wasn't really a normal coaching call because we had a conversation in between it, but I thought it would be useful to just show you how somebody can come in with a particular belief about something and then leave with a completely different perspective on what that particular issue was. And that just happened in an hour with a cognitive session where we start to look at those beliefs and feelings that underline our environment. So I hope you enjoy it, and please feel free to connect with myself and Nick if you got some value out of it. So here we go, introducing myself and Nick. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take you through a process which seems logical, but it is it's very much an emotional process. But before I do it, I want to just take you through something. I want you just to make you aware of something. Okay. So I want you just to close your eyes. Okay. So you've closed your eyes, and as you close your eyes, I want you to be aware of the seat that you're sat on. I want you to be aware of my voice and the sounds. I want you to be aware of any smells. So really just connect with all of your senses. And as you connect with your senses, even your sight, be aware of any images that are flying through your head. You know, any questions, you know, like, what is this crazy guy doing? Where are we going with this? This seems really strange. And as you do that, I want you to be aware of something. But I want you to ask me a question. I want you to answer me a question. Where are you at the moment? Physically. Just physically at that 3D level, where are we at the moment? You're in your house, yeah?
House, yeah.
And you're sat on your chair.
On my chair.
Excellent. And you're speaking with your voice.
Yeah. Which
is in your head, which is part of your body. Correct. You'd say they're all facts.
Yeah.
So you're in your house, sat on a chair, speaking with your mouth, which is in your head, which is part of your body.
Yeah.
Are you your chair?
I know where this is going. No.
Are you your house?
No.
Are you your body?
No.
No. So just hold that thought. And I want you, as you recognize that, and you can hear all that chattering and you can experience what you're experiencing now, I want you to be aware of something. In that experience that you're having now, I want you to be aware that you are none of the things that we're told we are, but you're the observer of that experience. So you're the observer of the thoughts going through your head. You're the observer of my voice talking. You're the observer of all of your feelings. What that means is that now, being the observer, you're like your own best friend. You're able to look at all of these observations, all of these feelings, and you ask yourself a question: is it true right now? Because unless you're a time traveler, quantum physics says this, we can't go back in time to change anything. So if we can't go back in time to change anything, and the future is yet to be made, all we have at the moment is this present moment. And it's called the present because it's a gift. So imagine we've got these 4 quadrants. Okay, so we've got 4 quadrants. In the top left-hand quadrant, we're going to have the challenge or the problem or the thing that it is that you want to work towards.
Yeah.
So just tell me again, obviously you've mentioned it, but we're now recording this. Just tell me in that top left-hand corner, what is the challenge? What is it that you want to be able to achieve?
The challenge is I want more freedom and time and to earn more money so that I can experience more things in this precious life.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's our intention that we've set. Tell me, what are the things that are stopping you doing that right now? What are your beliefs? What are your stories? What is everything that you're telling yourself? What are those barriers for you not having that right now?
That's a hard one. I mean, there is something in my head definitely around money, because when I try and launch a new product or something, it seems to fall on its arse. But then I try something new, and then that doesn't work, then I try something new. So I'm basically procrastinating.
Okay. So what is your belief around money?
I've been trying to work that out.
Okay, so close your eyes. And what I want you to do, that belief around money, what I want you to do is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your mind is going to tell you what that belief is. What's the first thing that comes into your mind? However strange or stupid.
I said it's not working.
It's not. So money's not working.
It's not working. That's it.
Yeah, it's not working. Okay. So when you say it's not working, is it that money's not working for you, or money's not flowing to you? What would you say it is?
I'd say money's not flowing to me.
Okay. Now let's change the word money. And I want you to use the word energy. So energy is not flowing to me.
Okay. Energy is not flowing to me.
So if we were going to say energy is not flowing to me, experiences are not flowing to me, connections are not flowing to me, what are the things that are not coming into your life?
As in money.
Yeah, but anything. So money is an outcome. So let's park money over here. Okay. Yeah. Money is a byproduct of energy coming into our lives, where we feel we've got purpose, where we feel we've got connection, where we feel we're living into our purpose of freedom, impacting the world, whatever we want to say. So that energy is not flowing into us, so we can create the money. Because once we've got, what we do is, our society is built on, if I have money, I will get. There are millions of millionaires who are miserable and want to kill themselves. They've got loads of money. So money isn't the issue. So if your belief is that if I have money, things will be different, okay, then that is a program.
Right.
So let's look at it another way. So what we're saying is that your belief is that if you had more money, then you'd be able to do the things that you'd want to do. That would create the freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a belief. Let's go to the right-hand box now. Okay. Energy in the form of money is coming into your life. And you've got 3 things that are the most important things that would happen from you building this amazing life. Okay. You've mentioned freedom. What does freedom look like?
Freedom. So for me, I sort of think about, do you know what? I'd just like to take 4 days off and going to visit all the spiritual sites around England, just on my own, with my own time, and just do that, and then come back to sort of everyday life. Freedom as well would be not working at the weekends at the moment, because I need to do that to pay the bills, so I can spend more time with my children. Freedom, even more to the point, I'd love to go to this place in Costa Rica called Rhythmia and do plant medicine. I want to do that, but physically don't have the money to book a ticket and do that and take 2 weeks off work. And so for me, I feel bound by money, bound by, responsibility, like rent, not alimony, what do you call it? Child support.
Child support,
and stuff like this. And it's always like, I'm here, I've got these things that I want to do, but I don't have the money to do them. I don't want to have to go in more debt to do them.
And they all make sense. They all make sense. I am 100% aligned with everything that you've just said. If you were going to pick those freedom things, which would be the most important? Not freedom from debt. I mean, I've got debts, that's fine. But if we're in the right, we're not looking at the negative. We're looking at, I've got money. Okay.
What do you mean?
Money is not an issue.
To do what I
choose the most important thing to do, to be with, Would it be to be with your children? Would it be go to Costa Rica or Peru or wherever to go and do that thing? What would be the most important thing? Which would give you the most joy?
To spend more time with my children.
Okay, so let's look at that now. We've got a belief around money. And then if we were going to list it, we want more time with our children.
Yeah.
What is your belief around not having money and not being able to spend more time with your children?
I think I know where you're going, and what just jumped in my head, which I don't want to admit is true, but that I have to work hard for money.
Correct. Do you need to work hard for the affection and love of your kids? No. So you've created a link between money and spending time with your children, which isn't true. Now, what I want you to do is this. When you think about when you spend time with your kids, how does that make you feel?
To be honest, if I was to use the language you've been using, it makes me feel like I'm in the present moment.
Yeah.
I'm like this. If I'm playing, I've got a little boy who's just under 2, and he runs around like a nutter, and I can't stop watching him. He's so funny, and it's just like the look in his eyes, the mischief, the everything.
And he's 3, right?
Yeah.
He's 3. Okay. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to notice that you experience freedom when you have that child, but are you present and notice it when it happens?
That I have the freedom then?
Yeah, you have the freedom with him. What stops you running around like a crazy person?
Oh, I actually do with him
good.
as well.
Yeah, good. But what I'm saying is that do you focus on the feeling that experience gives you, or are you focusing on the lack of that when you're not with him and you've attributed it to money?
Oh, I see. Good point.
So let's try something else.
Okay.
So now we're going to go to the bottom left-hand corner. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about when you watch your son, when you watch your children, they're free and they're running around and they're doing all that craziness, and we all want to have that freedom of a child with the wisdom of an adult. As you think about that, your amazing, brilliant mind is going to take you to a point in time when, as a child, you felt that free. When nothing cared, you had the energy, you had that freedom, you had that abundance. Is a memory coming to you?
Not yet.
Okay. Now that's interesting. So let's try another thing. As you tap into your subconscious mind, a moment, a belief is going to come to you when you first recognized your beliefs around money and the lack of it, and that it's not available to you. When was that?
That was that I can remember was when I wanted.
Whatever's come to mind now.
I wanted the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah. Falcon toy for my birthday. Mum wouldn't let us have it. It's too much. And we wanted it as a joint present. I've got an identical twin brother. We wanted it as a joint present. Wouldn't get it. Wouldn't budge. Couldn't have the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Pissed me off.
So what have you? How old were you when that happened?
I think actually I'm going to say it's probably about 7.
About 7. Okay. So around between the ages of 0 and 8 is when 80% of who we become is formed and our belief system is formed. So at 8 years old, you formed a belief that the Millennium Falcon was not available to you because your parents didn't have the money. Do I understand that 100%? Yes. And I'll tell you why. Because I wanted the same Millennium Falcon. I had the X-Wing, but I wanted the Millennium Falcon. Okay, so I'm with you on this, and I get it 100%. Do you know what? Eventually, I did get the Millennium Falcon, And do you know what? When I was older, my mum told me, I said, oh, because it was all put in the loft. And I went, oh, where's all my Star Wars stuff? Mum went, I gave it away. I was
That
livid.
happened to my brother.
Oh,
That
right. Yeah.
happened to
I
my
was
brother.
livid. I was livid.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah. So you can see how our parents can install these beliefs in us. Okay. And their beliefs have been installed by their parents. And this is why we get stuck in this trap. I want to
Yeah.
ask you a question now. If that Millennium Falcon came up and you so desperately needed it and wanted it, could you buy it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you could.
Yeah.
So your belief about who you are, what you are, and everything is not about you now. It's about when you were 8. It's your inner child. It's your inner child that has that belief, not you. And isn't it interesting that what you remember is based on your means of surviving, not your means of freedom. So when we look at something like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our physiological needs, our survival needs are what are at the bottom. So our belief system is based on, for us to have water, to be able to drink, to be able to eat, and all the rest of it, we need to make connection with people that are similar to us. So we feel connected and we're in a tribe so that we can then have some purpose, earn some money. And we go all the way up. And at the top, once we've got all that, then we've got our self-actualization. So what Maslow says is that before you can have self-actualization, you need all of the other stuff in place. However, you've just had self-actualization without any of those needs being fulfilled. Maslow's pyramid is upside down. All of the answers that we need are inside us. So this is where we move to the right-hand column. So what we've got is we've got a belief about money. Our end goal is that we want to be able to have more freedom. We want to be able to, you want to spend more time with your kids. But you also want to go on that whole spiritual journey for yourself, because you know that once you get into that, but what is the barrier? Well, the barrier is that most of the people that are running those retreats and doing everything have got money. So they're in this amazing abundance cycle where they're living the dream.
Yeah.
But your beliefs were formed around that when you were 8. And you can't remember what it feels like to be free. Yeah. So you've got an energy block around it's not about not what you know, it's what you feel. So if you can install that feeling of a child, that feeling of freedom within you, vibrationally, we all want to play. We're all kids. So vibrationally, if you can raise that vibration, you'll start to attract people in that can do all of that, that you're going to make connections. If you look at all of these people, whether it be, Regan Hillier at the moment, I don't know if you know Regan Hillier, she's doing a retreat in Peru. She's looking for people to go to Peru. But if you look at all these top gurus and coaches and you look at them and you go, oh my God, they've got money, they've got this life. The people that they tend to attract are people with money. So we also have this belief that that's not available to us.
Right.
So there are only 3 main beliefs that we have. I'm not good enough. So I'm not good enough to get money. I'm not good enough for people to see who I am. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough dad. I'm not a good enough PT instructor. I'm not a good enough this, because people aren't willing to pay me for it. Therefore, I must be different, because that guy over there, he can do it.
Yeah.
That woman over there, she can do it. I must be different. So that's not available to me. But that belief system is actually programmed into us by our parents. So if you had parents that went, yes, you can have the Millennium Falcon, but these are the steps that you need to take to get it. Now we've learned something, and now we've encoded a survival instinct that goes, oh, we know how to go and find berries. We know how to go and find honey. We know how to go and find the antelope. Because when it comes down to our survival needs, the reason why we like ice cream is because it's the perfect blend of fat and sugar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So actually, our psychology says a good day is finding an antelope eating honey. I've got my protein, I've got my sweetness, that's great. But when we become used to either getting that or not getting that, we then go into survival mode. So it doesn't matter whether you're outwardly successful and you've got everything, or you're not successful and you've not got anything. The emotional driver is going to be based on your belief system, and your belief system is going to be based on when you came into the world. And normally that's genetic as well. So let's go into the fourth quarter. We've got these beliefs now. I want you to think about that time with your son that you want to spend, and that freedom that you want to give yourself, the feeling, and it's nothing to do with money. It's a feeling that you want to feel. What steps could you take right now that don't involve money that can allow you to feel that feeling? So you know what you know, you don't know what you don't know, you don't feel what you've not felt, but you have felt it. So if I was going to say, have you ever felt truly free, forgetting money, truly free, with no care in the world at one point in your life? What would you say, yes or no?
Yes.
So tell me about the time when you felt truly free.
My girlfriend, when I was about 20, whatever, her dad lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we stayed with him for 2 weeks, drove his cars down to the beach, was on South Beach in Miami, just laying in the sun. Also, another one is another holiday when I went to about 9 years ago, I went to Thailand. And the person I was going with had to pull out last minute, and I went on my own. And in that, when I was on my own and I was going up to see the world champion Thai boxer, having lessons with him, and he was also a cab driver, so he'd take me down to James Bond Beach or whatever it was. And it was just like, I love this. I've not got a care in the world here.
And how did that, so how emotionally, so close your eyes, and I want you to think about one of those moments, whether it's in Thailand or whether it's in Florida. And I want you to go back to that point in time, as if you're going back. Your amazing mind is dragging you back to that time. And I want you to connect to that feeling in your body, that feeling of joy, that feeling of freedom. Where do you feel that feeling?
Oh, funny enough, I've done something like this before, but always here.
It's in your chest.
Yeah, in my heart.
In your heart center. Okay. So emotion.
Yeah.
So just think about that. I want you to just think about that feeling. Okay. So just close your eyes and just find that feeling again. All right. And as you find that feeling in the center of your chest about when you're in Thailand, your amazing, brilliant mind is going to remind you of a time when that feeling was taken away from you when you were younger. When did you feel that everything was possible and it was taken away from you?
It's not offering me anything.
Okay. So that's fine. So just open your eyes. So can you see where your block is?
Yeah.
You've done that twice now. And although you can focus on the negative aspects of all of the things that might have happened, and you've got a glimpse, your mind's been able to give you a glimpse of when you're an adult, you're unable to connect with that feeling of freedom that was taken away from you as a child. There was a part of your history, there was a part of something that happened, and we're obviously not going to do this on this coaching session, but yeah, there's a part of you inside, deep down, that said, why is freedom not available to me? So what I know from my clients, what I know from when I work with the clients is they will come to me and they will say, this is the problem. And this is and what we find is not the problem. So it's all the driver from the feeling. So I'll try to give you an example, which isn't a trauma-based one. Okay, here's a money-based one. Here's a money-based one. And this is when I was quite new, actually. So I worked with a lady in Saint Laurent in Switzerland. If you know Saint Laurent, it's a very posh area. And right. she had I can never say this word, neuropathy. So she dealt with neuropathy. And her clients were the type of clients that in their lunch break would go and buy a Chanel handbag. So her clients had money. And very similar to what you were talking about, she wanted to spend less time in a business and more time with her child. However, she had a belief that she had to be working every hour God sends on her business, and she had to service her clients, and she didn't want to put her prices up. And she had this belief that if she put her prices up, she would lose clients.
I understand.
The root cause of that was actually that her mum married a very wealthy man, and that wealthy man had an affair. He left his mum and basically took everything with him. So they went from being quite affluent to then having nothing. Mum was very intelligent, and she had to work hard to get everything back and to look after the kids, and kind of similar kind of story to what you did. So the belief system was that if I trust abundance, it will be taken away from me. I'm not worthy of having that, because having money means working hard. Working hard means that I won't actually be able to have time with the people that I want to have time with. However, even though she didn't have the money, she was working hard and she didn't have all the money she wanted, she still wasn't manifesting the time. So the belief was completely messed up. She had a belief that when I get money, I will create more time. But actually, it wasn't true, because she was working hard already and not getting that time. So we did the session, and she had a recording, and this is what happened. It was about day 30. So she'd finished work and everything was going fine, and she was changing her mindset. We'd done some coaching. She phoned me up and she said, just to let you know, and these were the words. Sorry, she messaged me on WhatsApp. She said, just to let you know, I've put my prices up and lost half of my clients.
But I'm earning double.
No, that's not what she said though. Yeah, she was, but what she said, so that was, and I was like, oh my God, she's taken the leap of faith. She's put faith over fear. She's put her prices up. And because she said, I've lost half of my clients. So I had a chat with her. Okay, that's interesting. I'd like to know. I know everything's amazing. She said, I've lost the clients that didn't see my value. But she said, interestingly, one of my really big clients came up to me and actually said, thank you for putting your prices up. I've been really, really concerned that you are underselling yourself. Oh, and by the way, you're still undervaluing yourself and you could go even more.
Okay.
The outcome of that was that she only needed so much money to like, she actually tripled her profits. And because of that, what then happened was she cut her hours down, because she was making more money, but then she had less, she had to spend less time. She then employed somebody else to take over. So the shop was still running. So she was making more money. She'd given herself time freedom, and her relationship with her daughter was better. She was getting to where she wanted to go to. Yeah. But her belief system had been watching her mum in that environment. So that's kind of my point, is that we can make those shifts. So what's one of the things, obviously without having a session, what's one of the things that you could do to create that time freedom with your son? What could you do, which is non-money related?
How do you mean? What
So tell me about the feeling that you have do you have a feeling of freedom when you're around your son? Do you feel free?
Yeah, I just feel like it's just me and him, and time stands still, sort of thing. Okay.
Do you ever capture that feeling?
No. Okay. Well, I don't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought to.
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the actions, and it'll be interesting to see how this goes, is that when you're in that place of presence, when you're in that place of freedom, which ultimately is what you want, whether that's in Costa Rica, whether that's in your home, whether that's wherever it is.
Yeah.
If you recognize that feeling and then encode it into your body and go, I'm just going to spend a moment. And you recognize, where am I feeling that feeling? When you have this feeling about money, where do you feel it? That maybe anxiety, or where do you feel it?
It's moving towards my gut now.
Okay, but where did it start?
It started here, actually, but maybe that was because I was thinking of Chester. And
yeah.
it just sort of,
Yeah. So as it moves to the gut, our gut is our second brain. There are as many neurons, if not more neurons, in our gut than there is in our mind. And so one of the things that you can do is capture that feeling in that moment. And when you feel it, just really, really close your eyes and just embrace it. Notice where it is. Go inside, notice what color it is, notice what shape it is.
Yeah.
Because what you can do is once you've got that feeling, once you've visualized the feeling, once you can feel the feeling, whenever you have a reaction about money, you can go to that freedom feeling.
Okay. And start
So you close your eyes and you just go, okay, I'm telling myself a story about money that isn't true. But I have this belief that I need money for freedom, but actually I can give myself freedom right now. You just breathe into it and just get that feeling back and embrace it. And then command and compel your mind to say, this is the feeling that I want all of the time.
All the time, yeah.
And put it out to the universe and go, universe, I want this feeling all the time. Bring experiences into my life. Experiences, not money. Give me experiences and opportunities in my life to experience this feeling as much as I can. So if you can see that when we started this, you had a belief that freedom wasn't available to you until you had money.
Yeah.
The outcome is actually when you recognize that all of the answers are inside you, that you can create the feeling, and it's the feeling that will raise your vibration. It is the vibration then that will go out into the universe and will start to attract the people in that need to help you find that money.
Okay.
I
think that's fantastic. Really enjoyed that.
I did that in under an hour, which is quite good. So yeah, so just have a think about that. All of it, we're sold that the answers are outside us when the answers are inside us. And it's just knowing those techniques. It's just knowing we talked about it before. You're interested in metaphysics. So metaphysics is above the physical.
Yeah.
So if you imagine, if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, actually it's a diamond.
Right.
Instead of going up, we need to go down. We need to slow down to speed up. So we're taught that for us with Maslow's theory, we're told that we need to get a baseline of being able to have food and safe, and then safety, and then we're trying to get to self-actualization. There's an economy based on that. And that economy is money. But if you change the word money to energy, so if you go, I want this experience, but I don't have the money, change it. I want this experience, or I need this experience, and ask yourself why you need the experience.
Yeah.
And I don't have the energy. Where can I find the energy? What is the outcome of me getting this? So for example, one of my things is I want an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Do I need an Aston Martin? No.
No.
You want to go to Costa Rica. Do you need to go to Costa Rica?
No.
I want freedom, but I believe that money will give me freedom. What you need is freedom, and you can give yourself that at any time once you reconnect with what freedom feels like.
Yep, 100%.
And once you have money, you can create more money. Once you feel freedom, you can create more freedom.
Right.
They're both energy.
Yes, I 100% understand that. I never looked at it in that way, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's awesome. So in regards to getting something out of this coaching session, what points can you take away from that now? So what are give me three points that you can kind of go away and work on.
And well, first of all, capturing that feeling and recognizing it. You've given me the magic 3 number. I can't think of anything else.
Okay, don't think about it. Feel about it. So feel about that freedom energy, and just say, I want three things that are going to give me energy that I can do. So the first thing is you can connect to your heart. You want to spend more time with your children. So what could you do about making that happen more? Or if it can't happen more, how can you capture that more? So if you've only got an hour a week with your children, what can you do to make that hour as fulfilling and freeing as possible?
Just by being present and fully in the moment.
By being present and recognizing the gift and giving gratitude. So we often say, I want more of this and I want more of that, but often we stop to say, actually, let me be grateful for the cup of coffee that I have this morning. So if you ever get into that state of lack, of I haven't got enough money, just stop, find that place and go, okay, what are the 5 things that I've got that I can be grateful for that maybe other people don't have? And it could be as simple as a cup of coffee. It could be as simple of, you know, I have amazing kids. I'm so blessed. So so gratitude is massive. The other thing that you can do is, and journaling. I don't know if you journal.
Not really. It's, I mean, I write notes, but.
Okay, so let me give you 4 stages to journal very quickly. Okay.
Okay.
Do it after a meditation. So do a meditation, and then just get a pen and a piece of paper, a journal, and do this. Write down the first thing that comes into your head. Whatever comes into your head, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, write it down. The second thing is read it back. When you read it back, look and investigate for the truths of what you're writing right now. Not 5 minutes ago, not 10 minutes in the future. Is what you've written true, and where is the evidence and why?
Okay.
If it's not true, then reframe it to say what the truth is.
Yeah.
And then reload it back into your mind.
Okay. I'm
So
going to do that.
A good example of that, it's called my 4R method, although the first one is a W, and 1W, 3R sounds rubbish. So I call it the 4R method. What that does is it actually takes the subconscious and the conscious and puts them together, and it looks for evidence. I'm a former police officer, so if it ain't written down, it never happened. And this is why journaling is so powerful, because you become your own coach, you become your own therapist, you look for your own truths. Because if you can't prove it, it doesn't exist.
It's not true. Yeah. Paul said to me to do journaling, and he said that he'd actually at some points in his life would put it above the meditation.
Yeah.
To get the stuff out of his head.
Yeah, because if you have a coach, if you have anybody who is going to say to you, you go, oh, I'm getting money, I'm rubbish, I'm crap at what I do. Is a good friend going to go, yeah, you are? No, they're not.
No.
They're probably going to come. So empathy and sympathy are really, really interesting. Brené, I don't know if you've seen Brené Brown's thing on sympathy and empathy, but it's so true.
No.
How many people will go, oh, you know what, Nick, you're amazing at what you do. You're a great PT coach. You're fantastic. Okay. And then you go, yeah, come and work with me. And they go, no, it's fine. And what they're doing is they're sympathetic to your situation. They're going, you're amazing. You're brilliant at what you do.
Yeah.
But they're not empathetic to that situation. They're not going to go, okay, I don't want to work with you, but how can I help you? If somebody said to you, I don't want to work with you, but actually I believe in what you do, I'm going to tell everybody about you. You know,
okay.
How many of our family, when our family and friends on Instagram and Facebook were having a discussion about Will Smith in Chris Rock, how many people are talking about Ukraine?
Yeah.
How many of your friends and family are talking about your business and what you do?
Yeah, none.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So empathy kind of comes, if we're going to look at an empathetic approach, it's going to go, do you know what? I love what you're doing. I see your dream. It seems shit at the moment. I don't have a solution for you, but what do you need from me right now?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between a sympathy deeply. Oh God, that looks, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Yeah, thanks. But when you go, everything's going to be okay, what do you need from me? How can I serve you? What is it that you then get connection? I now feel safe.
Now that you've said that, I'm going to actually try and offer that to everyone I remember to offer that to. And that's lovely.
So I'm going to end by doing something that I've had to change my thoughts and feelings on. And this is my tip if you're speaking to clients, and I used to ask for reviews. Don't ask for reviews. Use this phrase. If you have found this experience valuable,
Yeah.
tell people about me.
Ah, nice.
Because what I'm saying is people will make assumptions that if you have knowledge and you're good at something, that you're living the dream, you're living that abundant life. And we find it quite difficult to just say to people, give me a referral or do this. We don't want referrals. There's millions of referrals on Trustpilot. And yeah, if we're going buying a physical product by Amazon, then we'll go and get it. But ask yourself this. If you saw a product on Amazon and it was 5 stars, loads of reviews, and you go, okay, I might get that. Somebody goes, oh, don't buy that. I've got a friend of mine down the road who does that, and it's a really good product, and they're just starting up. Ethically, emotionally, who do you want to support? The person who's got 2,000 5-star reviews on Amazon for a product, or actually that's come from China, or somebody who lives down the road who's got this amazing product, they're starting to launch their business. Who do you want to go and support?
Them, of course.
Of course you do. But if you don't know they exist, how are you going to? Does that make sense? Because we have this belief that we're not worthy of asking that question, of saying, if you've taken, so your PT, how many times when you're working with your clients in PT, do you say to them, if you've had value from this, is there anybody else you know that might benefit?
Yeah, do you know, I maybe used to do that because a friend of mine, do you know Lazo Freeman?
No.
So it's just Paul knew him, and I was surprised. But I did a course with him, and he said that's what if you found this experience. What was the last thing? Going.
If you found this experience valuable,
anyone else who would like to feel this good? Is it getting pumped up?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who would like to feel this good? Then send them my way, sort of thing, or
get
them in contact. But I haven't asked that for years, actually.
And when you did, how were you feeling? What place were you in when you used to ask that?
Well, see, here's the thing. It was almost like I was shot myself in the foot with my own success. I was in my head, I want to be the busiest PT in Bishop Stortford. And I was seeing 13 clients a day for some points, for some days. So 13 hours with an hour lunch break. I mean, they were long days and I hated it. And then I took less work, same money, and was enjoying life a lot more. And I have in recent, maybe in the last 6 to 8 months, gone, do you know what? I fucking hate bounding away on my computer, researching the next big thing, and then just leave it. Just enjoy Chester, enjoy being around. And so I kind of have a few clients in the morning, a few in the evening, maybe one every now and again midday. And a lot of the time I do get to spend with my little boy who lives with me when he's here. And so that, that was the what I like that life now. But sometimes, she takes him away to mum's and he'll be going to nursery and I won't physically be able to see him because he's there, not here. But I don't want to be the busiest PT. I don't want to be the person working in my business the most. I want to be working on my business and creating stuff that can produce money without me having to physically be there.
Passive income. But can you say that all that's happening is it's your new evolution? So the best thing to think about this, if we to wrap it up, is to say we go through seasons, and if you want to see beautiful daffodils in the spring, when do you plant them? In November. Because the bulbs need hard ground so that in the spring they can come up. You're just going through your winter. And we go through winter, spring, summer, and autumn all the time. So if we look at that from, you're in the darkness. So when we plant a seed, so when that bulb goes in the ground, it's in the darkness. And when you can sit in the darkness and know that all is well, that that you'll start to gravitate up towards, you know, and you punch through. And as we come to the spring and you punch through, you're gonna get battered by the winds and the rain and all the rest of it. But you use that pain and you use that experience to keep growing, because
Right.
it's not until autumn that you start to see the fruits of your labor. And often we're focusing too much on the end result rather than the journey. So we don't enjoy spring, we don't enjoy summer, and then all of a sudden we capture that little bit of success in autumn, and then we're back into winter again.
Right, I can see 100%. I've heard that from entrepreneurs for ages. If I could give all my money away and start again, I would, because it's not the fun bit, the money, the hustle is the fun.
But remember, it's not money, it's energy. And actually, it's not about, they can only say that because they've already done it.
Yes, I know. That's another thing. It's all right for you to say.
Yeah. But what they're saying is that I felt more alive in the journey, the energy of development and growth, those moments of being in the valley and being in the darkness and then working out how I can get out the other side. And this is where coaches and therapists come in handy. When you're stuck in the valley, you may have been in several valleys. So you may have been in a valley in Snowdon, climbing up Snowdon, but now you're finding yourself on your Everest. And what you've got to remember is that if you want to climb Snowdon, you can go up Snowdon with a pair of trainers. You still climbed a mountain. But if you want to climb Everest, you've got to acclimatize. So you've got to go from base camp to camp 1, and then come back to base camp, and then and you've got to work that muscle until it becomes, it's like bench pressing, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
You can lift a weight, and then once that becomes easier, you might want to increase the weight or try and lift it in a different way. And it's the same as Everest. If you went in a helicopter to the top of Everest to try and take a shortcut and jump out and take your Instagram photo, chances are you'll die. So it's part of our evolution that we need to flex that muscle. We need to go from base camp to camp 1, camp 1 to camp 2, and then back down to camp 1 again, and then back down to base camp. It's exactly the same as PT. Our mind is the same. We need to get used to those processes. And the process that you haven't been doing is probably been working on the physical, you've been working on the logical. I've been encoding all of this logical knowledge, and it's like, it's not working. It's because you haven't connected it to a feeling. It is the feeling, our emotional brain, our limbic system, our amygdala. That's where our power is. We're sold it at the logical level. So you're only working at 5%. So you need to go inside to have these awarenesses. Then you can bring the logical processes in to bring you out of the darkness.
Okay.
Sense?
Yeah, a lot. Funny enough, I don't know if you know this lady, but I'm reading this at the moment.
Okay. You're invisible. Okay.
And she's saying exactly the same, but you've just said it in a little bit more succinct.
No, that's the first. But yeah, it is. It's the best phrase that I'm working on at the moment is slow down to speed up. Yeah. So that's the thing to think of. Slow down to speed up. And remember, there is no transformation without detoxification. So that's what these people say when they say, if I could give away my money. What they're saying is I wonder if I could do that again, but better.
Oh, okay.
So it's the challenge. It's not about them giving their money away. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is with all of the knowledge and all the failures that I've had, now I have that knowledge. Wouldn't it be great to go back again to see if I could scale it even bigger?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's not really about giving the money away. It's about going, I've now got all of this knowledge. And we do that. We reflect back and go, if only I'd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to Maslow's thing, they've reached a point in the physical world that is success. Ask yourself the question, if they were to say, why do you want to do that? Okay. What is the driver behind that? That would become more spiritual. That would become metaphysical. And ask them this question. You want to do that all again. Have you had your God moment? Have you connected with the universe and felt pure love? So the other tip that I would give you is whenever you go through a difficult time, try and see it through the lens of love. What is the universe teaching me? Because there's
Yes,
no good and there's no bad. There are only lessons.
only lessons. I actually tell people that as well. But sometimes you,
It's easier to be the coach than to do it
yeah.
yourself. Absolutely.
Very much so. Yeah, a lot of
Absolutely.
people say you should take your own advice, mate.
Yeah. I'm guilty of it, true. I am absolutely guilty of it too. So I hope you got some benefit out of this anyway, out of this coaching session. Certainly, let's connect, and maybe there may be opportunities in, as doing some work together, or adding that extra value to your clients and vice versa. So that's something that maybe we could pick up on.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I've really enjoyed this, and thank you.